I mean, they're taking the Medusa and the TD out of the pool, so Bumblebee's... I mean, the Oracle gives you more options to carry, so it frees up your pool a bit, but they've taken out the biggest counters. Oh.
There she is.
Okay,
I
so...
was wondering where she was.
It's going to be Z-Freak Hoodwink. That's actually a treat to watch. We talked about how great mechanically skilled Z-Freak is. Hoodwink, I think, has a pretty high skill ceiling if properly played. So, that's a treat. He loves the archers. Great Mirana player.
It's just obnoxious to play against in lane, and you can land some really nice bushwhacks that can set up for, you know, some nice Mars spheres or whatever here. This hero is just so popular now. And the break mechanic is just so good. There's not many heroes that offer that anymore.
I remember there was one game. It was like, I don't know if I was playing a pub, but I remember I was playing with somebody, and we did Mars Hoodwink unintentionally, and then realized that it's a really great combo because you spear to a tree, and then you follow up with the bushwhack. Like, you're guaranteed. And then also, you can bushwhack and then put trees down for Mars to spear to. So it's one of those... Hoodwink combos are weird. Timber's another one where you'd think it's bad, but it's only if the Timbersaw player is bad that it's a bad combo, because otherwise you always have a tree to chain to and do your insane amounts of damage on Timber with Hoodwink. Like, teams prefer to pick Timber Hoodwink together because, you know, killing the tree is obviously well within your control. It's not like you can just not press your abilities on Timber, and that's fine.
Yeah, and also synergistically, the two heroes are awesome because Timber allows Hoodwink to roam, right? That's what Hoodwink loves to do. Like, Hoodwink is okay in the lane, but being able to leave the lane and leave your Timber alone and not lose that lane is like Hoodwink's dream. So
Sure.
it's a very solid combo. I agree. We have the last picks here. Bumblebee's most likely looking for the carry. At this point, I love that they just trust E. You just go, whatever's left, you're going to pick out because they've only banned E heroes, and they're still going. What could we be seeing here, Jenkins? What are you looking for Bumblebee's carry here?
Oh, God. Let's see. I would be very surprised if Luna wasn't... Oh, Luna's first phase banned, actually.
Yeah,
okay.
No, they've had enough of that.
Yeah, first phase banned.
Eternal Envy. What could he pick? I mean, Jug is still there. Seems like a pretty solid Jug game.
10 seconds remaining.
God, what does Envy play?
It's about, like, they've banned so many core heroes against Envy. This has basically been like, you know what, Envy? We're not letting you play this
Jug.
game.
Okay,
there's the Jug.
Right.
Yeah, what's he playing here?
Okay, it's Phantom Assassin. That's the only one left, guys. That's the only one left. Oh, God. Do not pick PA.
No, I have never seen, or I haven't seen Envy in a long time, but it's not the worst Lifestealer game, is it?
We keep saying that, though, and it seems like he just doesn't want to play it.
I have not seen a successful Lifestealer in this region, unfortunately. I like the Eastern European Lifestealers the most. I don't think North America is... It's a bit too tempo for this region, in my opinion.
I agree. Lifestealer just seems to get out farmed in NA. It doesn't feel too good, but it is Envy's second most played overall hero in competitive. So, if there's any time to pull it out, maybe it's when you feel confident against.
There's nothing else left for him to play.
Yeah,
exactly. Left in the pool.
Okay. Wait. He's
gonna pull out a Chaos Knight on us, guys. That's what's gonna happen. It's just gonna be surprise.
Naga Siren. Maybe?
Yeah, that's the other one I was thinking. Siren is pretty decent here.
It's good. I mean, it's good against DK and lane. Not so great against Pango. You have clear for the illusions. It would depend if it's a Pango core or not. Okay, now you can't. Now you probably can't Naga.
No. It has to be Lifestealer. It really is just set up for the guy. I mean, against Lesh, what else do you have left? I'm thinking of other BKB carriers.
There's always PA.
God, don't PA.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, it seems like a Lifestealer is... Drow is another hero that exists, but it's just terrible against Dragon Knight as a hero. Well, then again, I guess you have the new Aghanim Shard, which reduces healing, so that could be fine, but still. Armor hero...
hate that, though.
There's no Envy heroes left. I don't know.
They've literally only banned Envy heroes on the side of TOOBASED. Look at that list right there. How often does that even happen?
That's pretty funny.
And what's surprising to me is Bumblebee still decided to last pick Envy's hero, despite them seeing... There we go.
There it is. Okay. All right. That's what they had to. They had to.
They had to. I'm excited. Because I think most of MV's competitive games are all older iterations of Lifestealer. I haven't really seen him recently playing too much Lifestealer, but I mean, he's back to a bit more similar to how he has played before. It's just that the Lifestealers I see that are very successful tend to be the I'm going to save my teammates Lifestealer. And this game is not bad. You can do this with the DP, with the Infest, the Hoodwink as well. The Oracle has some combo with you. It can work. What lineup are you guys favoring, Moxxi?
I feel like TOOBASED gets to play the kind of Dota they want, whereas the bumblebees kind of got forced into this is all that we have left that could possibly work. So I'm gonna go with TOOBASED on this one, especially knowing how aggressive 5UP likes to play and seeing just how fast tempo their lineup is.
Jenkins?
I'm gonna go bumblebees because Gaben emailed me and told me that it's in the script that this goes to 3 games.
Okay, that's as fair analysis as ever. So we get game number 2 between simply TOOBASED or bumblebees. What will win, true analysis or the script? Actually, I don't even know. I'm asking that question. We all know it's going to be the script. We'll see you in game 3. So please take it away, Jenkins and Moxxi, for the second game of this incredible series for the 3rd day of the NA Close Qualifiers.
All right. Well, we do have some comfort picks here. We talked about the fact that Mr. Kingal, he loves to play the Mars. I think I've seen him play this hero. I can't tell you how many times. So that's going to be feeling fairly comfortable. Ryoya also very good on the Death Prophet. How do you feel that this early game is going to go here, though, Jenkins, taking a look at these lanes? Because we talked about the fact that Mars and Hoodwink, a great combination together.
Yeah, they're definitely strong, but you're playing into a gyrocopter, which if gyro gets any advantage in the lane, if barring like certain heroes that can dodge the rocket, maybe gyro can really feed off of these Mars type melee offlaners that like to stand in your face, but then will feed to the magic damage. So the thing is though, like TOOBASED has some great pushing. Bumblebees on the other side, they also have good pushing. It's coming out of the mid lane, so if that matchup goes really well for Bumblebees, then they'll be the ones pushing and taking an advantage. And if either mid or bot goes well for TOOBASED, then they're going to be taking that advantage.
What is the likelihood that, so generally speaking, we usually see, rotations coming out, but when you have a Death Prophet in the mid lane and you've got a Dragon Knight on the other side, is it a situation where we're going to see people rotating to the mid lane instead of the mid laners rotating off to the safe lane of the enemy side, or?
Well, both can happen. It gives you options, which is always good in Dota, is being able to like choose depending on how both of the lanes are going. Like if you feel like your DK is doing really well and you want to rotate there as monkeys, you can do that. If you're, Ryoya and you see that like Boris is left alone on the top lane, you can rotate there. It really depends on the opportunities. But I would favor always the team that has more options, which is TOOBASED with the 2 pushing heroes that they have. Although the problem is Pango's a really terrible laner, so that's a big disadvantage for TOOBASED. That Monkeys has been having really good lanes in this tournament, especially with Leshrac. But it's hard with the Pango. It's just not a good laner.
The battle begins.
I think he's going to have to be careful, just that he doesn't get out of position with the Leshrac, because I feel like 5UP really shines when he's allowed to have this capability to move about and put pressure, because that's something that you want to do, right? You have a Death Prophet in the mid lane. She doesn't have a really great escape. She's not particularly tanky other than having the Spirit Siphon. So I have a feeling he'd like to be a little bit aggressive, but again, Leshrac is on the squishier side, and you do have to be careful that you don't get rooted into place and that Lifestealer doesn't just start charging at you. So
all right, there's another thing. Like okay, top lane. Oh, just a bit of grass.
Yeah.
They're just chunking away at him. Bottom lane, Monkeys Forever has a Blightstone on Lesh, which is quite cool. You don't see this very often. Maybe he'll build it into a medallion, but just a really interesting answer to the fact that Lifestealer is this magic immune carry. You eventually will pick up the Edict and do extra damage because it's physical damage against the Lifestealer. It's pretty cool.
Definitely thinking with portals here, as we do find a courier getting sniped.
Freebie for Mu. Yeah, I mean, he's not, it's not usually the 5 position that's sniping couriers.
Not usually. It's not usually an Oracle.
No, that's
It's
when, like,
usually,
they're-
your Maranas or your Nyx Assassins.
yeah. When a 5 is getting couriers, like, a mistake has been made.
Top lane, though, they seem to be putting out a decent amount of harass over onto Boris and Empyrean here. But they have also run out of regen over on Mr. King Ao as well, so they're dishing it right back at them. Nice bushwhack, though. Is Empyrean going to be our first blood? No, not quite enough damage. Boris also sitting quite low. Empyrean
Wait a
using his
minute.
own... He used the salve on himself. He didn't use it on his Boris.
I don't think that's the play. Like, greedy support player.
Boris is probably like, nah, man, I got it. We're good.
Nah, he's mad. He's malding.
He's malding
Bor-
right now.
But
Where's
I
the
shouldn't say
pings,
that with
though?
Boris. Boris is not malding. He's got a beautiful mane. He's, of course, not malding, but if he could mald, he would be malding right now.
Mm-hmm. What's the opposite? What is like a similar thing when you have hair?
Mowing.
I don't think that's it either.
That sounds like the same thing as malding, but it's not.
It's definitely not. But yeah, the harass is on here in this bottom lane. Moo is sitting a little bit low here in terms of mana now. Does have himself a mango if necessary. Constantly throwing out the swashbuckles to try to disarm and try to put a little damage out. How's the mid lane going here? I feel like there's not too much that Ryoyo can really do to bully I Annihilate, but on the flip
DK
side of that,
DK wins every single lane. Anytime you like vote against this hero, you're just always wrong. That's what I've learned. It's like you think, oh, Death Prophet, you've got to do quite well against DK, right? You've got the Spirit Siphon. He's a tanky hero. Nope, DK wins every lane. That's the lesson.
he has the power of anime, you know, that's pretty important right there. They're using the power of anime against the eternal NBs. Like, they're really just trying to strike at his heart here.
That is the counter, and in a very anime fashion, they take the DK. Oh, Boris.
Oh, and that is indeed a dead Gyrocop. Miss King Al, though, he is going to just keep chasing after Imperium, even though that cold feet procced. Look at Z-Freak. He's got some of these body blocks here, but they just don't have enough damage. So,
Imagine being like a 1,500 or 15,000-year-old like ancient god, and you're getting blocked by a squirrel. Like, imagine that. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Just step on it. Squirrels
he
are
can't.
small.
He has no feet.
Well, then float over it. What's his excuse?
What are you gonna do? Floating over? You gonna just chill him to death? I mean, I guess that is his thing, but
You don't need to do anything. Squirrels are not a threat, I can tell you. All they do is walk around and bury nuts. That is their entire life. They're very
I don't know.
useless.
They can do an awful lot of damage if they're allowed to get into like cars and stuff and chew through wires, chew through walls and stuff as well. You know.
I have heard that. Just sneaking into people's garages and like eating their lawnmowers and things like that, eating the little wires, and your lawnmower doesn't work. Yeah,
Yep.
You're right. Okay, I'm convinced.
Squirrels truly are a menace.
They are really OP in real life. S tier
It's like
animals. Oh, I don't want to get started about birds. Do not start me.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to bait Jenkins here on this. But yeah, it's a slow start right now. We've only got 1 kill on the board. I've been seeing a little bit of trading back and forth between the lanes, but nothing too crazy just yet.
Here we go again. Squirrel versus ancient
old
god.
Oh, the bushwhack, though. Z-Freak giving him the plings, giving him the acorn shot. Has to be careful, though, because Boris is getting pretty angry that this little squirrel, this little vermin, is poking away at his god. So they're going to try to make him pay for this. He goes, he pops off one of the sticks, fairy charges, and then that's going to be a dead hoodwink, but not before he ties them all to a tree first. Bottom lane, 5-up. It's chasing after Moo. He wants this kill. We'll be able to find it. He's going to be able to survive, though, is the next question here. Eternal Envy, they're trying to break ankles. Nope, not going to be able to do it. Eternal Envy will find his prey.
I think dying there on Z-Freak doesn't matter so much because you have this free farming Mars in your offlane. You're pretty okay with that. On the other side, once again, trading Oracle for Pango is probably once again favoring Bumblebees there. So it's strange to see like a 2-for-1 like that happen and then it favoring the team that lost 2, but just given everything else that was happening on the map, it was good for them.
It's not the worst in terms of, like you were saying. I'm interested, though, to keep my eyes over here on the mid lane. We do have the level 6 both online here for the Death Prophet and the Dragon. Right? And there is a dead Boris here in top lane.
That's the level advantage from Z-Freak making space. He gets 6, and Boris, you know, we're memeing about Empyrean not giving him the salve, but that results in that initial kill, which sets him behind, and then now he's level 5 to the level 6 of King RD, who gets the basically solo kill on him there. Like it all compounds in Dota. A small mistake like that, if you're playing against good opponents, they're going to take advantage of it and snowball.
Some pressure being placed over here on 5 up. Eternal Envy, though, wants to just focus on hitting these creeps. Surprised that Moo wasn't able to get that courier snipe, but it's his first game of Lifestealer on this patch, according to our statsman, Mr. Knoxville. And it's his 5th most played hero. Very interesting. 5 up, not quite landing that swashbuckle here. So, ooh, Moo. He's gonna try to negate some of this damage, but they have the physical, and they'll be able to collect on the Oracle.
Oh, of course, Lifestealer. Of course, he's got the Javelin Rush, no boots on Eternal Envy. But you know, this is a much more standard thing on Lifestealer. You're a high move speed hero. Oh, top lane.
Top lane, yeah, Empyrean. King Al going for a bit of a deep dive here against this poor Ancient God. He just cannot catch a break. He's trying to buy a little bit more time, but eventually does fall to the God of War. So, in God be God, Ash. Oh, Eternal Envy, though. Here it is. I was going to ask you about this earlier, Jenkins. We have, you know, these heroes that push towers very quickly with their level 6s. I wanted to know who was going to make the rotation, and it's clear that they very much want to prioritize putting pressure on Envy's lane. But as I say, this Boris is getting bullied out of his own jungle. Z-Freak planting a nice ward over on the side. Is able to keep tabs on him and will be able to just be a general nuisance.
It's looking like the first game all over again, where Bumblebees have the kind of early advantage. Well, maybe not so much, actually. TOOBASED just took the bottom tower. With but the thing is, like, I don't think that you expect to be able to take that tower if you're TOOBASED, because the whole point of Lifestealer as a hero is that he gets to sit in the safe lane for a lot longer than other carries. But with 2 pushing heroes combined, as well as like the physical damage from the Edict, it's cool that TOOBASED is able to make the call and kill him there.
I go in for the Infest. I Annihilate, trying to buy just a bit more space here. So that is an arena that didn't end up doing a whole heck of a lot of anything.
Look at his regen. 26 regen on Dragon Knight. 1660 HP. How do you kill this guy?
That's the question that the Eternal Bumblebees are probably trying to figure out for themselves now. Perhaps changing their trajectories. They spot Boris here in the top lane. They put a lot of pressure on this. Oh, nice sidestep out of the way here. Just going to clean up the wave. But the pressure is now continuing, coming out from the side of TOOBASED. Got this Dragon Knight. He's going to have his dragon form up in about 8 seconds. And you have a Leshreek who's got a very low cooldown and is going to be able to also help burn through this tower. So there it is. There's the dragon form. And you can see the rotations are coming. Z-Freak looking to find an opening here, along with Ryoya. He does not have the Exorcism, so they get the stun over onto Ryoya. The follow-up now from 5 up as he has got that Rolling Thunder, and they're just going to try to stun lock Ryoya into place here, and it's looking pretty darn good. So that's going to be a dead Death Prophet. Z-Freak can't do a whole heck of a lot there. And they're just going to take the middle tower.
Denny'd with the 360s in the tower to BM. I love it. That's some solid BM right there. With how strong and how tanky Denny is on this is, of course, I Annihilate. His name is Denny on the Dragon Knight.
I like how you've got the Canadian accent in there too when you say his name.
What are you talking about?
Denny?
Yeah, that's his name.
Danny?
Like the restaurant.
No, his name is not like the restaurant.
It is. He's never corrected me on it. But anyway, Denny's
Maybe
is
he's
so
too nice.
He's so he is nice. He's very nice, actually. He's very Canadian. He's so tanky. You need the Death Prophet ulti to fight. And Bumblebees, they don't want to lose the middle tower because, I mean, nobody wants to lose their middle lane tower. It opens up so much of the map. So they go to, like, casually defend it there, but because of TOOBASED having Monkeys having such a solid game, you can't casually defend that tower. You need the Death Prophet ultimate to fight, and that becomes immediately obvious, of course, after you get wiped there. And I think from now on, Bumblebees, they need to make a successful rotation off the back of the Death Prophet ultimate, because otherwise they don't have damage to kill these 2-based heroes, other than maybe Boris, but I don't think killing Boris matters that much right now. You need to stop Monkeys, and you need to stop Denny from snowballing.
All right, well, they have a smoke coming out from the side of TOOBASED. They want to just flush them out of their jungle, reclaim some ground here. Monkey's leading that charge. And King Awa still in the vicinity. Do they try to go in on this? How do they open, I guess, is the question. Is the spear's already been thrown? Look at Monkeys. Look at this. They jump forward immediately. They'll follow up with Fury. They're going to try to get the Cold Feet into play. But the Rolling Thunder followed up with the Ice Blast. That is a dead Mars. A nice hit from the gank squad here on the side of TOOBASED.
That was beautiful. That was a work of goddamn art from Monkeys Forever. And this is something that Aoi mentioned, that he had actually coached this team. And one of the problems that he was kind of addressing with them was the fact that, and I mentioned it too in the previous cast, they know what to do. They know where to go, but the way that they do it is sometimes rushed. It's sometimes a little bit lazy, which is pretty typical in NA Dota fashion, because it's just what we do in our pubs. And so watching Monkeys do a wraparound like that, you said it, like, how did they get the initiation on him? And they had to do something clever like that. It's so cool to witness a team improving so dramatically, like right in front of your eyes. They take the one thing that they were bad at, and you can clearly see these examples where they've improved. It's just amazing to see as a person. You know, we like to watch other people improve and get better at the things they suck at, and it's like, that was a work of art. What a nice rotation that was.
Yes, as a squirrel, I don't think I would appreciate that as much.
As a squirrel?
You just said as a human being, as a person.
Oh, I see, yeah. Squirrels are people too, Moxxi.
No, they're not, Jenkins.
How dare you?
They are literally not humans. They are classified as a squirrel. But you know what's very exciting is the fact that I annihilate Danny, or Denny, as you like to call him, is going to be picking up this Blink Dagger, which is going to make things very, very scary for the side of the Bumblebees here.
It's cool that he's building in somewhat of an off-lane DK style. He's just got all of these tanky items, rushing the Blink Dagger, rushing into the BKB, and he's allowing Monkeys 5ever to go for more of a mid-lane build. And I think with how Monkeys is snowballing and how strong Leshrac looks in this game in terms of the burst damage versus these Bumblebees heroes, letting Monkeys be more of the scaling hero does make a lot of sense.
I think it's something very strong. Look at the positioning of Mr. King Awa here. Sitting on the low ground, doesn't realize. All right, there's the reveal of the blink, the follow-up. All right, immediately, though, they throw out the false promise. King Awa jumping over into the high ground. He's going to try to protect over on the side, but they end up losing Moo almost immediately. So they go, and they'll use that Exorcism. I Annihilate, trying to do as much damage as they can. Has to be careful, though. The amount of damage coming out from this Death Prophet is actually a huge problem. They managed to sides up the Sharpshooter. They already lose Mr. King Awa. He's separated from the side, but now Eternal Envy's going to hop a ride over here into Ryoya. The call down will come out. Slow them down just a little bit as they're trying to find the angle to re-engage. 5 up, not quite finding this Death Prophet. It's a beautiful bushwhack coming out from Z-Freak here. Envy popping back out. Ryoya should be safe at this point. Should be able to teleport out, but they managed to get the courier. Eternal Envy with the Rage TP is going to be absolutely fine as Z-Freak is forced to scurry away and the tree line.
So I know I said earlier that you don't really need to deal with Boris because Monkeys and I Annihilate are snowballing, and so you need to deal with them first, but he has been getting enough space at this point that he's a big juicy boy now. He is top of net worth. He's got his full Aghanim Scepter.
There's a dead 5 up. Continue.
A little bit of a freebie. You definitely take those if you're Bumblebees, especially when you're just pairing the supports together. I think you're pretty happy getting any random kill. It's not like there was any commitment for that, really. But yeah, Boris is becoming a problem. It's looking like another one of these Boris games where he's getting way too much space, and once again, he's on a hero that can 1v5 on Gyrocopter. Satanic, Rapier, Butterfly, perfect Sanjin Yasha builder. You do not give this guy free farm on a hero that can 1v5 with it. That is, we have seen what happens if you allow that to occur.
I wonder what the team's mentality is during things like this. Is it just like Boris is like, don't worry guys, don't worry, I'll carry, it's not a problem. But as you say that, Boris gets jumped here in the middle lane, so he is just immediately evaporated as some of the teleports are coming out. They want to protect this tower. The C5 ups, he's waiting, does have the Blink Dagger, does have the Rolling Thunder if they want to try to engage, but the Bumblebees are backing off now.
The mid lane is the biggest debate in Dota. You're some carry or mid laner where you're just farming kind of safely in the triangle or in your own jungle, taking stacks, taking camps, then it's like, oh, there's a mid wave pushing in. Let me go deal with this. But if you were to look at like the heat map of an average Dota game, you would see that the enemies are, there's almost always someone near the mid lane because it's just the average, it's the literal center of the map. So statistically speaking, there's going to be somebody there, and it's the shortest lane too. So there's always towers to TP to as well.
All right, well, looks like Z-Freak is going to have to scurry away as Annihilate's hunting. There's an Ice Blast coming in hot, but I don't think it's going to be able to quite connect. It's a little bit too slow here with the trajectory, so. It's like Z-Freak will live to fight another day, and he's going to get healed up by Moo in the meanwhile.
Space creative. You're definitely happy with that. If you're little Z-Freak scurrying around. He's been just quietly farming as well. Another one of these situations where Z-Freak is kind of huge. He's got his Ether Lens, Tranquil Boots, Blightstone, some small casual items, but having a fully completed Ether Lens at this point is pretty important because he doesn't want to get in there and fight. If he runs into Bushwhack, he is going to feed to all of the area damage that TOOBASED has.
I have to say I'm really happy to see that Zach's back on a team because he did take a little bit of time off, I believe last summer. And to be able to see him, you know, doing well, being able to play Dota is a lot of fun. It was funny because I think I was talking with Kyle and he just said like at one point, he's like, man, my little brother's actually just so good at Dota. And we're all just like, yeah, he is. And it's good to see him back on a team again.
I think they have another little brother who's really good at Dota too.
They do. I think it's G-Freak.
And then they have another little brother who I think he's trying to play like Fortnite Pro or something. It's a whole family of pro gamers. And then Kyle.
He's playing Dota now. He's been streaming.
He has been quietly grinding. I think people were like criticizing him for his like, oh, Kyle doesn't play Dota or whatever. And he's the type of guy that as much as his personality is well, okay, actually, bot lane, monkeys.
I like how you just stop with that sentence.
Okay, no, I'm happy to continue, but monkeys does look like he's in a little bit of a precarious situation, just like I was insulting Kyle live on air. Anyway, back to Kyle. Okay, as much as he's got a brash personality, people, you know, have their Reddit has their little problems with Kyle. I get it. Okay, he does quietly kind of do the things that he needs to do. He doesn't talk about playing Dota, he just does it, which I really respect that. You know, he's not going on Twitter and being like, look at me, I'm playing Dota, I'm gaining all this game knowledge or whatever. He's just doing it. He's just trying to hit some high MMR number. Anyway, Kyle's not in this game. Let's look at Z-Freak. What's he doing? He just TP'd out. Very nice. Right back down to the bot lane he goes. Very good.
Oh, that was quite the monologue, but look at those. Monkey Forever's biggest rivals. It's like MSS is on the top there. There's Ryoya in 55 games, a 54.6%.
Okay, come on. That's just Quincy Crew in Ryoya there. I'm not going to pretend that...
King Owl, he's found Monkeys Forever. The teleports come out almost immediately. The Bushwhack, the Sharpshooter, that's a dead Leshreck. There is not going to be any sort of adventure here for him as they have the Infest Bomb. They're going to pop back out. They're going to punish Imperium for being in their jungle.
I forgot Eternal Envy was in this game because he's just infested in people or farming for the whole game. But he's pretty huge. Level 15. He's got the Basher, Casual Sange, Maelstrom. He's doing quite a lot of damage at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, he's just been quietly farming, doing his own thing. And right now, if you look at the net worth, the top three, you've got Envy sitting at the top, Boris sitting very close underneath, and then Ryoya. So things are looking pretty good here for the Bumblebees. But again, it is one of those games where you have a gyrocopter, and this is a guy who will happily build a rapier when push comes to shove. So We're gonna have to see, you know, what the bumblebees can do, as they are smoked up and they're on the hunt. Going towards that triangle area, they've got Mr. Pingal. He's leading the charge. He has that Blink Dagger and the Arena, and he's gonna spot Boris. The rest of the team is close nearby. Boris, though, he needs some help to bushwhack. They should be able to take down the gyrocopter very easily as Ryoya popped the Exorcism. Now they'll probably put their attention towards this mid tower that TOOBASED has been trying very hard to keep alive. A couple acorn shots here coming out from Z-Freak. The tower goes down. And yeah, that's a very nice move coming out from the side of the bumblebees. Invading the triangle, getting a kill on the core, and then even getting a tower to boot.
And I think with Boris being dead for 23 seconds, yeah, okay, bumblebees, they're doing this strat of you just take one spawn of the enemy triangle and then you leave. And now when Boris respawns, he's got nothing to farm because they're going to retreat to the areas that the farm is left in, but that's, you know, on their side. Boris is obviously not going to be able to go over there. So this is just where you get the net worth lead from getting those kills. Like, the kills obviously give you a bit of net worth, but it's all about the camps that you steal afterwards that really give you the big advantages, as well as the towers, of course.
And I like this. Moo has just completed himself a Blink Dagger, which means that his positioning is going to be so much better in terms of being able to get his spells off and being able to keep his cores alive.
Yeah, this has been a pretty common pickup for Oracle since probably about 4 or 5 months. It's been the pickup over Ether Lens. I think with Ether Lens having the range on it reduced, that's one element to it.
Jumping forward immediately, but King Out is here, and the BKB is going to get popped as they go, and they drop the Ice Blast. And this fight is just completely split up as 5 running around, making chaos over on the back lines here. But it looks like they're going to back up. Monkeys Forever, though, trying to dish out some of this damage, trying to find this opening, but they managed to take down 5 and with a nice hit coming out from Z-Freak, they're able to take down Monkeys. So TOOBASED on the back heels now. They held onto the arena just for Annihilate. There's only so much that Imperium can really do. He's going to try to move around, get away from these trees, but there's just too much damage coming out from the bumblebees. So they hit fast and hard, and they're on their way towards Roshan.
This is looking rough. It's looking similar to the previous game. Once again, just like the previous game, you have Boris kind of quietly farming. He's not on top of net worth this time, but he is on one of these like typical 1v5 heroes. And then on the other side, you have Eternal Envy, who has a really good matchup versus the Gyrocopter. With the Rapier, previously, Gyro would be able to beat Lifestealer in the late game, but it doesn't give you that True Strike anymore. So Lifestealer having the evasion talent and a Heaven's Halberd, he needs an MKB and a Rapier if he wants to deal with Lifestealer. But he also needs a Satanic, he needs a Sanjin Yasha, he's going for a Daedalus. Like, where do you get the slots? Legitimately, TOOBASED, if they want to win this, they have to pick up Spider Legs. And I'm not joking when I say that. Like, I actually think that item is really important for a lot of these 1v1 carry matchups.
No, I would definitely agree with that, because you need the extra slots. I mean, the nice thing about Gyrocopter at the very least is the fact that, you know, you can do the Aghanim's Blessing, which will be able to, you know, just not backpack it, but make space, an inventory slot, and then with Spider Legs too. But, you know, they are smoked up over on the side of TOOBASED. Smoke does pop over to Annihilate. He jumps up. He does see Ryoya here, so he'll get the stun off immediately. And the Gyrocopter is going to teleport in. 5 up, rolling through with the Rolling Thunder. Again, Annihilate drawing a lot of attention over to the side, but the Spites are totally split up his move over on the back end. Not going to be able to get any of these spells off as the hunt is on over after Z-Freak. They're trying to get their hands on the squirrely little devil here. And are they going to be able to find it? The Yule's coming in. Monkey's waiting patiently. Will be able to land the split. He's got the Sharpshooter lined up, but they're just going to sidestep. It's not going to make any difference, as now they're chasing after Ryoya. The Ice Blast does manage to go and connect. The hunt is on. He's trying. He's using that Spirit Siphon over here. BKB coming out from Ryoya now. They realize they're not going to be able to get their hands on him. They are going to back off. They ping out, though. There is an Eternal Envy over here. Annihilate waits patiently. It's the stun. Can they follow up? Can they hold him in place? There's nothing for him to invest into to do anything. Oh, that Ryoya making his way over here. Nice arena coming through. We'll be able to pin 5 up over to the wall. Annihilate now stuck as well. He will fall to Ryoya, and the tips come out for King Ao. They were not expecting that arena.
Yeah, that was a nice double spear. I mean, as cool as the Mars Aghanim Shard is in concept, you really rarely see situations like that where you hit an effective double spear where like both heroes die. So it's great to finally see that actually have a huge amount of impact. King RD just waiting. It's like the last possible second to use the ult spear combo, being very patient, waiting out the BKBs, waiting out the Pango roll.
Oh, the jump forward misses the spear that time, but does manage to give TOOBASED a little fright as they'll back off just a little bit. To see bOEE's continuing to farm. He knows it's very important that he gets his gold, gets the items necessary. Top lane. See Moxxi's here. Moxxi's perhaps a little too greedy, my friend. Uses his BKB, is forced to just teleport away. But look at the damage. The physical damage that came out from that was just scary, considering.
That seems like a typical Monkeys Forever space creation, shove down a lane, and, you know, a lot of the time you'll see him juking before he gets out just to make as much space as possible. But with the BKB, he's still able to make a little bit of space there. I think that's probably what he intended, was just to force those TPs, force those spells to be cast on him. Not that it's particularly good for them. It's not like they committed a lot on the side of bumblebees, but definitely intended by Monkeys.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. It is a 6-second BKB at this point, so I guess he feels that he can just spam it. Or not necessarily spam, but, you know, use it in that manner, generally speaking. You want to be using it on the aggressive, but...
BKB is such an OP item now. A lot of people, every time BKB gets changed, people are like, oh, it's a nerf, but it just never seems to be a nerf. The item always
look
seems
at Monkey's doing Monkey's thing again. Just gotta be careful. Does not have the BKB this time around, so he will fall.
Mid lane again, Moxxi. It's just the worst place to die, too, because if you die there, you're not making any space. We were just talking up like how much space Monkeys makes typically. Like it's just play style. It's what he does. But you die in the mid lane, and it's right in front of your base. It means the enemy team can take your triangle. They can take your towers, maybe. They can go kill bOEE's in the bot lane.
They definitely want bOEE's. You saw the way King Anti pinged it. He ran after him. He's going to have to BKB, teleport away here, as 5-up is most likely going to be the sacrifice to allow him. But he does have roll-up available here, so he's going to try to bounce around a little bit longer, but eventually they'll still be able to get the kill.
You've got to be really careful with these BKB TPs because Envy has Basher, so as much as it's been kind of successful for TOOBASED in terms of surviving, maybe not successful in terms of what they're getting from it, but if Envy's there, infested in somebody, he can just bash you. So these are a little ballsy, to say the least, after he gets that Basher.
I love the way that Z-Freak is just positioning himself here. I love the way that he's constantly scouting, whether it's with the Smarana or it's with the Hoodwink. It's always just thinking 2 steps ahead here, and I think that's very important. But the mid tower is going to go down, and the bEE's are invading the jungle. They're looking to see if there's anything that's they can snap up.
Just like you mentioned, look, Z-Freak, he's setting up.
He's got that vision. Ryoya looking for the opening. Not going to be able to quite get their hands over on Denny, as you call him, this time around.
Ah, there he is.
Almost
Monkeys.
Irish.
You know what Monkeys love? Trees. They love being in the trees, just like Irish people like Denny love beer, and I could say that because I'm Irish. Oh, maybe they don't love that sort of tree.
Yeah, not that kind of tree. Look at Z-Freak. He's trying to line up the shot. He's not going to be able to. Monkeys. He's got to use that BKB, and he's got to get out of there. He's not choosing to go and teleport out, though. He's just trying to buy a little bit more time. Lands a stomp off. The Infest pops out, and down he goes. But that's a lot of space that he's made, and hopefully bOEE's is able to do something with it, because I think we've been seeing a lot of dead Monkeys Forever all over this map.
Yeah, it's you know, it's space, but the question is always, what is the space for? I suppose bOEE's is top of net worth, but following that, you have Ryoya, who's huge, who's just been kind of chilling and farming. Envy, who's huge, who just got involved with that, which is why Monkeys couldn't TP out because of the Basher. Even King RD is quite farmed. He's more farmed than the middle lane Dragon Knight, who got off to a very good start. So 3 cores versus 1. bOEE's can 1v5 if he is top of net worth, but I don't know if there are 3 heroes that are quite close to him in net worth. I'm not sure if that's a dynamic he's really comfortable with.
I don't know. It seems pretty difficult. As the exorcism is going to get committed here. Swashbuckle coming out. Gyro joining into the fight. Got the Yules, the setup. Nice save here from King Al. Going to immediately be able to spear over several. Annihilate, jumping forward. They've got the Rolling Thunder. Ryoya forced to pop the BKB, as is Mr. King Al. 5 up, trying to just create chaos over on the back lines. Boris trying to get out some of this damage too, but it's pretty difficult. They can't seem to find this opening, although they're going to try to throw out the missile over onto Eternal Envy. The jump forward here from Annihilate. They're trying to just stun him into place. Can they take him out in time? No, 5 up. He is going to go down. They use that false promises. They take down Boris. They take down Empyrean. And they'll take down the Leshrek. King Al just jumping forward with these perfect arenas. This is why this guy is so dangerous on this hero. He has played so much Mars, and he's very good with his positioning and timing.
I like that Envy also just didn't press rage. The rocket was coming in, and he almost got chain stunned to death there. And it looked really stupid, but then you realize that he's relying entirely on Mu to get off the false promise, so that way he can use the rage to like re-engage afterwards. It was a bait, and the bait actually worked. TOOBASED thought that they could commit there because Envy got like quote unquote caught out doing Envy things, and that's like the biggest bait in the world, is when you see Envy get stunned when he shouldn't, but then it's like, oh, get him, he's like doing one of his 50-50 things, but then really it was just a bait because Mu was there with the Oracle.
It's trust. I mean, that's so important with these teams, is being able to, know that Mu is going to be in the right position so he can, get that save off. And also knowing that Envy is going to be greedy and not going to hit that rage button. So you better be on point. Ice Blast does connect on several here, but this Roach is going down too fast. They're not going to be able to challenge it.
I would agree with you, Moxxi. Whenever you get Eternal Envy on your roster as a team, you definitely trust him fully. No fishy business going on.
I mean, I feel like you know that you're picking up a wild card if you pick up Envy on your team.
Oh,
you just have to come to
absolutely.
terms, embrace the chaos. If any man embodies NA Dota, it would be Eternal Envy.
Here's the question. Is it this team picking up Envy, or is it Envy picking up this team? That's the real question here, because he is the anime protagonist, unless you go by, Kyle's narrative. He is the anime protagonist, and so really it's just Envy kind of getting a new cast of characters for another season.
I see. Well, I mean, the team is named after him, although I don't think that was his choice in the matter. And
Yeah, something about it tells me it probably wasn't his choice as well.
I love their banners. Their banners in particular are a delight.
Yeah, there was a lot of work put into those banners, definitely. Somebody definitely opened up paint, in my expert opinion.
Hey, it's a good job.
I think that's a Photoshop.
Photoshop. Go
Go
on, Jenkins.
I am losing it, Moxxi. I'm losing it here.
I don't think you ever had it there, friend.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Nice
lane ward here from TOOBASED. I don't know how much it's going to matter.
They were trying to make a play earlier. They were smoked up. They were hiding in the trees. They're hoping that somebody would make their appearance and they could get the jump on them. But the bEE's are playing too tight over to the side there and never actually walked into that area. So this tower going down. King Al is going to get the final hit. And it begins. Look at this. Again, 5 up. Getting found here by Zephyr. He's just obliterated immediately as King Al jumping forward. Gonna just bypass all these split earths and whatnot. Exorcism coming out now from Ryoya. They do have the BKB and Annihilate jumping onto the back lines. They want to get rid of Mu as fast as possible, but he has an Aeon disc, so it's gonna make things very, very tricky as Monkey's dancing around in circles. He's got that BKB. He's trying whatever he can, but eventually he just falls and they don't manage to get their kill that they want here. Eternal Envy, though, he's taking a decent amount of damage. Imperium's going to fall. It's going to be the Aegis getting reclaimed here, or rather falling as Annihilate falls. Boris falls as well. All of these goes coming out from Ryoya. They end up calling the GG. It is as you proclaim, Jenkins. You're going to be going to game 3.
Yeah, it's just when Gaben emails you, I think it's in your best interest to trust in the Lord and Savior, Gabe Newell. And I did, and I trusted in Envy too. You never count this gentleman out. My prediction for this team was that they're not going to qualify, but they're going to knock out teams that would otherwise qualify. That's what Envy teams do. Is that like Undying's going to get knocked down to the lower bracket. Envy is going to win this one. Sorry, Simply TOOBASED. It's in the script. And then Undying is going to get eliminated by Envy. And then they're going to lose.
Well, that is quite the predictions that you have here, Jenkins. I'm glad that we have hired you as our analyst. But we are going to take a short break, guys. And when we come back, we will discuss this game in detail.